So I'm totally not watching Twitch chat.
No, of course not. No. You're just looking at something else on your screen.
So I am not prepared. Number 5. No, that's Jimmy trolling me. Jimmy. Today we have an update stream. So joining me today we have Joanna from Tampere from Iceflake. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Davide.
Long time.
How are you doing, Davide?
I'm doing great. Why is
Yes.
the update called Century?
Well, instead of, it was originally going to be bad luck, but obviously bad luck kind of implies that we're going to make the game more difficult or, those kind of things. But instead, we kind of wanted to bring in those kind of things that would help the players with the catastrophes and the apocalyptic scenario that this whole game is. So we decided to focus more on those kind of aspects. So in that way, bad luck does not fit. Sanctuary is definitely, it's a nice idea in a world that's completely ravaged.
The first thing we saw in the teaser trailer is the anti-catastrophe measures, so let's start talking about those.
Yes. So indeed. So there are two main things that we've implemented that are going to be the ones that are going to help you survive the catastrophes much better. So right now we have a save here that has, quite a lot of colonists going on here and everything. So what I'm going to show you right now first is the sauna building, because that's something that, we're finished. We're a Finnish game studio. Of course, we have to make a sauna in the game. There's no question about it. But it's, eventually, what the sauna does is it actually removes some of those kind of, pollution and those kind of materials that are in the air in the game that could affect your colonists. So instead of them becoming ill so quickly, the sauna will help you kind of make sure that they take care of their hygiene and so won't get sick so easily. So I think this could be a really good place to place this.
I want to talk about the lightning rod.
Oh, the lightning rod. I was kind of waiting for you to bring that up. Yes. So that is the other building that's going to protect your colony from, the effects of different kind of catastrophes. So this is the lightning rod. As you can see, it can be found from where all the other energy producing buildings are. And essentially what it does is, like you can see right now, it has that essentially kind of a work area around it. So any electric buildings inside of this, so it can be either an electric or energy producing building like solar panels, or an energy consuming building like field hospital here, for example, they will be protected from any kind of like electric damage that would come from like a magnetic storm or the overcharge or anything like that. So this is a really good building for those kind of situations where, magnetic storm is coming, like right now we have a magnetic storm on the way.
Hashtag not scripted.
Yeah. Essentially what the lightning rod does is, instead of, allowing the lightning to strike the buildings around the circle, it's going to take the hit, and instead, it's going to absorb it and direct it to the ground safely. But considering, it's a post-apocalyptic world, these are not your average lightning storms. These are magnetic storms. So it is going to take some damage from those hits. So you really do want to make sure you have what it takes to repair it and make sure that it doesn't get destroyed. Because if it does get destroyed, then all of these buildings are, they can be damaged again. Oh dear, we have a magnetic storm coming. Let's see.
So I have one question while we wait for the metal guys to suddenly realize, hey, we need to bring metal to the colony. Hello.
Yes.
It was regarding a possible combination. Oh wow. Okay. Oh. That happened.
Yes.
Hello. It was regarding a possible combination. So you said that the lightning rod needs repair.
Yes.
I think 3 updates ago, Matti introduced us to this building that was automatically repairing buildings around it. So can I combo them and just have them next to each other and create the ultimate combo of, aha, you will never get me again, lightning?
Actually, yes, you should, as long as you have the materials to fix that building. You know, that's of course going to be a thing. Oh dear, no, now we are getting hit.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh dear, let's start repairing these because I don't want to lose anything.
Also, we have an old woman that appeared in front of the gate, literally
Yes,
appeared in the middle of a
we do.
thunderstorm. Like, this is scary. Oh, this is one of the
Yes.
favorite events, the riddles.
Yes, I love these ones though. Like, I know all the answers to these because I've been playing so much. Do you know, Davide, what is the answer to this one?
The bigger I am, the less you will have. What am I? Arrogance, sickness, a lie, or a hole? So I'm totally not watching Twitch chat.
No, of course not. No. You're just looking at something else on your screen.
So I am not prepared. Number 5. No, that's Jimmy trolling me. Jimmy. Twitch chat is saying number 4. It's a hole.
That is correct.
We made it,
I
Twitch chat.
let it
Yes.
be.
Thank you.
Yep. So that was the correct answer, dude. But yes, let's see what is happening. Are we gonna lose any of our electric producing buildings? Oh dear, insect farm. Where's my insect farm?
Oh no.
Let's repair it. No, it needs metal. No.
Okay, this is going south really.
This is going definitely. Oh, but
Okay.
the magnetic storm is over, so looks like we've survived it this time.
Can you show us where we can unlock the sauna and lightning rod?
Yes, absolutely. So we're gonna go to the tech tree,
Yeah.
and we are gonna go to the colony page, and this is where you can see some differences. So we're gonna go all the way here, and here we have the surge protectors. This is what unlocks the lightning rod building, and then we have cleansing, which unlocks the sauna. So these are the ones you're gonna want to look out for.
Okay.
And like I said, they are pretty far ahead here, so most likely you'll need them at this point. You know, you're gonna have loads of buildings that would require energy or would produce energy, and also you're gonna have, you know, a lot of colonists at this point. So anytime a pandemic fallout hits, it can get nasty.
With this update, we're also taking ideologies to the game.
Yes.
So, what is an ideology in Surviving the Aftermath?
So an ideology is essentially a sort of a plan that your colony is going to have. It's what your colonists and you as a player is going to focus on. So we have 3 main ideologies, and essentially these are the things that you're going to select in the pre-game choices. So when you're starting a new game, there's now one of the tabs there is going to be called ideology, and it's going to give you those 3 options. So there's one that is based on, you know, surviving. That's your main focus. One of them is then exploring. So, you know, when you think about the world map and everything like that, that's the other option. And then actually right now I'm totally blanking out on the third one. And here we have, the colony builder. Yes, that's the one. I completely mixed it up with the survivalist. But yeah, so essentially survivalist, get more out of what you got. Colony builder, keep the colony running and growing, and a wasteland explorer. So this is the one obviously most focused on the world map. So discover more in the colony and around it. So these are the main ideologies here.
Also,
and like you can see, it is right here, right before the gatekeeper choices.
Also, while we were doing it, I just noticed something very, very beautiful happening.
Indeed.
Can you move your cursor to the left and to the left? And can you click it?
Yes, I can. So this was another thing that was requested from us. So what we did was we are now giving you guys a chance to, instead of just going back to the main menu and starting everything all over again, you can now jump between these tabs. You still can't just jump to the summary page immediately. You have to make the choices first. But once you've gone through the choices, you can then come back and be like, no, you know what? I want the average starting resources. No, wait, do I? No, I'm going to go with the plentiful starting resources. So definitely something that was requested from us. So here you guys have it. This is the thing that affects essentially what you're going to focus on. So what we decided to do was focus on the tech tree with this. So as you know, some of you guys already saw, it has changed a bit. So it has changed slightly to, you know, reflect the ideologies. So now when we go to the Tech 3, we can see that there are, I'm just going to check which one is, we are looking for a specific one. I believe it is in, should be, here we go. So in the colony page for this specific colony, you can see that there's one that is in this beautiful bluish color. So what this means is that this tech is specific to this specific ideology. Now, I honestly can't remember exactly which ideology was chosen for this specific save, but if I had chosen another one, then this would not be here, but then another one would be somewhere else. So the ideology actually, this is the most clearest change, that it affects the text that you can actually, research for your colony. So in this case, we have a metal bender tech that will, reduce the repair cost of these buildings.
Is this the final version of Ideology? Are you guys done with this feature? Or
I don't think there's really anything in the game that we can say we are actually completely done with. Yeah. So this is mostly the first version of it. A lot of things are in discussion, so we'll see what we come up with. And, right now with these, we absolutely want to hear from the players. We want to know what you guys think. What's your input on this? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What would you like to see it affecting? Should ideology affect something else?
The best way to let us know, and maybe we can also have the weekly prompt to the lady feature menu, which is not a lady feature anymore. As you can see now, it's a blue cockroach. So the lady feature joke is now officially gone. But we have a cockroach now.
Yes, we do. Yes. So this was, we revamped essentially a lot of these things here. So you can already see that there's a slightly different choices here in this menu. And let's go with Deft and Challenge. A lot of different questions here. We did a whole revamp of all of these questions and categories and everything like that. So that is why the ladybug is now gone. So, new questions, a new bug to, reflect those changes. So just want to make sure players, they see there's a new bug there. So let's hope it'll inspire them to tell us what they're thinking.
And now that we addressed ideologies, we can probably move on to the next point, which is improved trading.
Yes.
So trading, at this point, I think that we are at the third iteration, if I'm not wrong. We introduced it a couple of updates ago, then we did a revisitation with the last update, and now we have, again, yet another one. So just to reiterate the concept that this is an early access, so we are implementing stuff, we're seeing how you play with it, what's your feedback, and then we start developing even further. So can you tell us what's changing about trading?
So yes, I absolutely can. So there's quite a few changes here. So instead of, before this button over here next to the world map, used to open the trade menu. So right now it actually opens, as you can see from the tooltip, societies. So let's go ahead and click on that. So right now here you can see the societies that you've already discovered. So if you're just starting out, you click on it, it's going to say, no societies found, go on the world map, find some societies, and then they'll turn up here. And well, she's really positive. You poisoned the very ladies. But yes, so essentially, this is where you can see all of the other societies that you can trade with. And also, it shows you the distance, so you'll know how long it would take to trade anything with them. But yeah, let's choose Small Town this time. And, this is a new page as well. So you can see a little bit of a description with Small Town. There's reputation. And here you have trade. And then this amount reflects the amount of trade centers and workers you have in them. So again, it's still that you can't trade infinitely. You just have to wait until one trade is completed so that there's a worker available to do the trade. So in this case, we have I believe we have one trade center with 2 work slots open in them. But so let's go ahead and check that out. So this is the completely new UI for trading. So as you can see, we are Pingustan. So this is our resources that we can trade to this other colony. And then this is Small Town, and this is what they are giving to us, or would be giving to us if if they agree on this trading. So essentially, I can choose whatever I want to trade them. Like, let's say I have 120 concrete. Do I need 120 concrete? Not necessarily. So I can choose concrete and then just change the amount from here. Let's say we'll give them 20 of the concrete if I can get to there. Yes. And so I can here right now I can see what is the item value. So it is 80 of these beautiful little silver coins, which is the currency that we're bringing in. I'm gonna get back to that in a bit. And then just choose OK. Mm-hmm. So right now we can see that as I'm selling them concrete, there's 80 that's coming to me. But if I would right now be like, oh my gosh, yes, I really want to get the wheat seed because that's a really convenient thing. I can see right now that it's 440 silver coins. Okay, so I choose OK. Right now it's going to show that there's going to be 360 coins going to them, but I can't afford them because I don't have enough. So I can either choose to not get the wheat from them, or I can give them something else. So let's go with planks. Try and fill it up. I'm going to give them all of my planks. And now I would have enough because now I have 221 silver coins currently. So I would be paying them 105 coins plus the concrete and planks. And essentially you just choose whichever ones you want to give them. Let's give them the one log there and everything. And once you're done, you can see right here in the top that these are the ones that are going to be involved in the trade. Then you choose confirm. And that's it. That's the trade going. And as you can see, all of these things were taken away from me. So the one log and all the planks, they're immediately taken away from you so that you can't trade them again and again. But also the seed was removed from here because there's nothing, you're not going to do anything with getting 2 wheat seeds. So essentially those kind of trades, you see the impact immediately, but it's not actually completed immediately. So if we go back here to the colony, I'm not gonna have the seed yet because it does take time for it to actually arrive. It's the 1 day and what it was, so no wheat here yet. But yeah, and the other thing that some of you people probably noticed was that there's also something else here for sale, which would be a vehicle. So we did realize that sometimes you just want to get that car and you can't find it from anywhere. So now the societies will have vehicles sometimes that they can trade you. Obviously, they are extremely expensive.
And so reputation is not used in trading anymore.
No, it is not. And actually, this is currently at the moment, reputation was something that was in trading before. And so since we have implemented it, we didn't want to remove it. But at the moment, it is actually not used really for anything. It is there, but trading will not decrease it or increase it. But this is something that, we are going to use for diplomacy, which you can be seen here as a gray button. You can't actually click it or anything. It's, it's what we're planning for the future and what's coming up in the future updates at some point. But for now, reputation can mostly be ignored at this point.
And I think that these are the 3 main features in this patch.
Yes.
And then we can now start talking a bit more about the balance adjustments. The first one is there is also a new building that we are introducing by community request. So this is why I'm really eager to talk about this, about the lumberyard.
Yes. So we have it built right here. So as probably some of you guys can see, it is a building that slightly resembles the sawmill. So essentially it is a building that does similar things as the sawmill. So it will take, it's going to have a colonist that's going to cut down the trees, and then it's going to create planks. It's not as efficient as the sawmill is, but, we did realize that taking away the sawmill was a big thing. And we just wanted to make sure that you guys still have a chance to produce planks even in the early parts of the game. So lumberyard is going to be immediately in the build menu. So you don't have to unlock it from the tech tree or anything like that. And because of this, since, when we took away the sawmill and put it behind all of those things in the tech tree, that's when we increased the size of the plank deposits in the game. So since we're now introducing lumberyard, we're actually going to be decreasing those amounts again, just, to make sure that there's not too many planks around there immediately.
We also changed how the medical building handles sick people.
Yes, indeed. I don't know if we don't have sick people right now in here, but essentially what we did was, before the medical buildings, so medical tent and the field hospital, would only heal one person at a time, but they would do it quite quickly, but still it would be only one person at a time. And we did realize this is not exactly realistic. Like, of course there's going to be a situation where doctors can multitask and everything like that. So what we did is we allowed for them to be concurrently healing. So if you have all 6 patients here, all of these 3 medics, they're going to be healing all of them at once. But since we're giving you this thing, we are going to be increasing the time it takes for them to heal. So it is going to take longer for any colonist to heal, but they are going to be healing all at the same time. So, we give and we kind of take a little bit.
Another, kind of small but big change is the crops that they now wither at different speed.
Yes.
So can we talk a little bit about this?
Yes, of course we can. Absolutely. So, we've been talking about it for ages that there are catastrophes such as the fallout and heat wave that are, when you think about it, if there's a heat wave, how is it that crops are surviving it completely? Not exactly what would happen in real life or anything. So now when heat wave hits or when the fallout hits, instead of, before fallout would just be immediately, you lost all of your crop in that second when it hit. So now instead of that happening, the crops are going to start withering. And that means that you're going to get a smaller amount of whatever you're, growing there. So if right now a catastrophe would hit either the heat wave or the fallout, you would see right here a status that changes to crops are withering. And then, obviously right there, you're going to want to go harvest now. Let's get this thing going. We want to make sure that we are getting as much out of it as possible. And the withering rates actually do differ based on, what you're going to be growing there. So, we all love that trusted potato. So it's going to be something that can take a lot more of the heat or the pollution. But then those soybeans, those beautiful soybeans that produce so much food, they can't take it, they're not that strong of a plant. So if that hits, you're going to want to, you want to make sure you're growing the right things.
But in my gameplay session, I have a lot of food. And I'm one of these guys that I just go, oh, look, now I have 351 food and I'm never going to run out of food. But that is also changing, I understand.
Yes, it is. So obviously one of the things why people are ending up with a lot of food in the game has been the cookhouse and the mess hall that are giving you recipes and that are enabling you to create a lot of meals. So what we still have this destroyed. Let's just clear that there.
Oh, that was an attraction.
Oh, now it isn't. So as you can see, we are actually producing less meals nowadays. So we are, we've heard you guys saying that food is possibly too easy, especially when you've played for a while. So right now, as you can see, it takes 3 vegetables, but you only get 5 meals. So before this would have been 5 and 10. So you're not getting as much as you were before. And obviously, with the cycle of how long it takes to actually prepare the meal, it's still going to be the same length. So you're also going to be getting food a lot slower than you were before. So small adjustments. And again, let us know if this is, if we're going to the correct direction or if this is a completely wrong thing to do. So we're really looking for that feedback.
Colony events can now cause damage to buildings.
Yes.
So it's okay. Something happens, damages the building. So
yes.
What's happening? And can I read, Matti, how we put it in the dev diary? Because I literally have the quote here, because I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting. So Matti wrote, mismanaged experiments, pyromaniacs, and other sources can damage your buildings and even set them on fire. Decide carefully how to handle these events, lest you want your colony to burn to the ground. And I'm like, okay. Ooh.
Yes, indeed. So I believe this is something that we have been looking forward to doing for a long time, ever since we introduced events in the game. The first few events, whatever they were, So essentially, right now, you can get a random event in the colony, and you're not necessarily going to recognize that this is one of those events because they're going to look exactly like the other ones. And whatever you decide with those events, they're still going to have those choices. You can end up with a tool shop on fire, or a large wind turbine a little bit damaged, or something else. So there are a few of these events that are going to be introduced in the game. Don't want to get too much into them. I don't want to give in too much. So basically, just look out for those kind of events now, because otherwise you might lose a building or two.
So you thought that oh, now I have anti-catastrophe measures, that's going to be easy now to handle. Ha! Ha! Little did you know.
Exactly.
Sneaky,
and
sneaky.
It's not always the external factors. Sometimes it's your colonists doing it.
Those are the major highlights. Of course, there are more things happening. We added moons. One moon in the aftermath.
Yes, one moon only.
And stars, many stars to the night sky, for example. There are other changes coming to the game. We're not going to go too much in detail right now about those more changes, but again, there is going to be patch notes, dev diary. Make sure you check them both, because sometimes something is mentioned in one side and then you go on the other side and you find out that, oh, this is actually pretty big. Can you trade your own cars?
No, that is something that we did not implement. We decided not to do that. That was actually something that we were discussing as well, but for now, no, you're going to have to keep your cars. Actually, David, I realized that something that I completely forgot to come back to was the silver currency that we have from the trading. So just so you guys know, it is right here in the top bar. And, before, when you were trading with the other societies, it was always based on the reputation value with that specific society. So in this case, right now, you get silver currency, which will you can use that with all the other societies. So it's not specific to one society anymore. It's you have your funds, and then you can use them whichever way you want to. But yeah, so you can find the silver currency right up here.
Thanks everybody for joining. Just a friendly reminder: 5 to 7 European time, which makes, I guess, 8 to 10 Pacific time, or this is getting difficult, 11 to 1 p.m. if you're on the East Coast of the United States. We are streaming Surviving the Aftermath with Jimmy. Yes, sorry, I stream a lot of stuff with Jimmy. Yes, there is thumbs up. Oh, Nurgle cannot wait for the next Prison Architect stream, which is on Thursday, by the way. 5 to 6. You can see Nurgle being ecstatic. And of course, every once in a while we also have the luck to have Joanna with us from Tampere and Ice Lake, or Matti, or other devs, which of course we are always more than welcome to join us for the weekly streams. And we're also very grateful for your help in going through the new updates with this artist stream. So thank you, Joanna, for taking the time. And now I know it's very late there. I know it's very late there, so I think it's dinner time for you.
Yes, it is.
So I'll let you go, and I'll see you guys next week.